Alright, so I'll turn the car on. So this is my settings on the head unit. So I'm going to go to sound. First, let's go to bass and mid-range. This more so applies to the door speakers. So my bass is turned all the way down because even if I turn it up, probably about right there is clipping on the amp, about 4 ticks up. So everybody just keep it down. I let the sub do all the work, most of the work anyway. Because there's still sub output. It's just the maximum amount of bass output from the door speakers is at full volume. And with this hitting all the way up, I've heard from others in the community that have fancy audio, tools or voltage tools. This amp goes all the way up with this head unit goes all the way up without clipping, and that's how it's set from Volkswagen. And then right here I have the subwoofer all the way down. And so with the volume all the way up, how I have it set is, so I think this is how this should work. This is off or close to off. This should be halfway up on the amp, wherever it's set at, and this should be maximum volume. So at no point in time, because I had that happen before when the settings were different when the gains were halfway. When the gains were halfway and bass boost was all the way down, between here and here was no difference, except it was probably clipping. Now with how it's set, ice cream truck. So this is halfway up. This is like probably about 85%, 80, 90%, and then this is all the way up on the amp. So that's how it is right now. So this should be like, it should be like nearly off 25 or 30%, 40%, 80% or whatever, and 100%. So that's how that's set. I'm gonna go back to the settings on the amp here. Actually, before I do the settings on the amp, let's go to the LC2i. So that right there is the settings on my LC2i. So of course I changed it from main output to bass output, because of course it's a monoblock bass amplifier. So bass is set right there, and the Accubass is all the way up, so it picks everything up. This car is kind of funny with picking up signal, or at least this is one of the two, but that's how I have it set ultimately. The little Accubass measuring thing down here, I forget what you call it, it's turned all the way so it picks up as soon as possible. And I think at 35 hertz is where I have it set to where this is set on maximized on output voltage, as where it should be set, between 7.7 and a peak of 7.9 volts, I think at about 40 hertz. Of course, there's the port facing back at the hatch. You can see where the clearance is. Go ahead and show you the amp. So bass boost is all the way down. That's literally where my gain is set right now. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of really fuzzy. I got some bad lens flare. But you can see that's where my gain is at. It's not even close to half, and it's at putting like nearly maximum output at that point right there. Low subsonic is of course off because I'm playing below 25 hertz. Bass boost is all the way down. That's where my low pass is set. Phase is of course switched to 180 as you said because the sub's inverted, and of course in master mode and no data link required. So that's how I have everything currently set up. Oh crap.